it really could be the death of the movement. Gene Hamilton is here, VP General Counsel of American First Legal, who we told you about filing some of these suits. It's good to see you. You guys have been on this for a while. Has the Harvard situation changed things?
Well, Leland, thanks for having me on. I think that, as you say, moments in time can have lasting impressions on movements. And the movement in our country for hundreds of years was towards greater equality, progress towards equal treatment under the law. Now, we went through kind of a radical period over the last 5 to 10 years where a lot of this DEI stuff crept up. And instead of equality, the goal became equity. The goal became picking winners and losers based on immutable characteristics like the color of their skin. I think that we are identifying successfully for major corporations all across the United States, for courts all across the United States, for everybody, that all American citizens have the right under existing law to be treated equally, to not be discriminated against because of the color of their skin. And so that goes from everything to individual lawsuits that we filed on behalf of our clients, to filing civil rights complaints left and right, to just changing the terminology. You know, it used to be that people used to use this term reverse discrimination. But the fact of the matter is there's no reverse discrimination. Discrimination is discrimination. Doesn't matter who's doing it. Doesn't matter who's
There was a time, and I think we can all agree, where there was reasons to try and help people who before had been denied opportunities, right? That you don't necessarily have to discriminate against one person to offer other people opportunities. That clearly that time perhaps has changed or has passed. But the question would be this: are you all finding, shall we say, a more permissive or accepting or willingness by the judiciary to look at the discrimination of 50-year-old white people as what you just called the discrimination?
Absolutely. I think that you see some of this. Even, in the Supreme Court's decision this past summer in the Harvard case, although that was applied to the educational context, there is a concurrence there from Justice Gorsuch that describes how Title VII, which is the governing statute that provides most of the anti-discrimination guarantees at the federal level for American citizens, looks awfully similar to Title VI. And the plain language says you can't discriminate against somebody on account of these grounds. So I think what we are finding already, and what is the case already, is that people are waking up and they are realizing that we are no longer in whatever world it was in the past that you described, where there was some documented record.
American support of corporate freedom. And I think there's an important point to be made here, because conservatives often say that corporations should be able to do what they want. Private companies have rights that the federal government and that schools and publicly funded universities do not. 61% of Republicans, 50% of Democrats agree that elected officials should allow companies to address diversity, equity, and inclusion as they see fit. Where is the line here between allowing corporations to carry out business as they see fit and do what they think is in the best interest of their business and their shareholders, versus your all's position that DEI needs to die?
Yeah, Leland, it's a great question. I think that that poll depends on, the impression of the person receiving that question. But I think Congress has answered that question for us about what companies should or shouldn't be able to do. And so since the 1960s, and quite frankly, since immediately after the Civil War, there have been laws on the books that say you can't do this in the private sector. For characteristics to really fully enforce the equal protection guarantee that every American has to equal treatment under the laws of the United States, these are protected grounds, immutable characteristics that Americans can't do.
Gene, look, Gene, I think your phone's going to be ringing a lot more come next year. Certainly seeing how what has played out at Harvard and how the world has shifted on this issue, even the New York Times now on it. Come back and talk to us next year about it, all right? Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.